So the Writers Guild of America announced that they are going on strike. First strike we've ever seen in 15 years. Y'all remember that one back in 07 that pretty much ruined Heroes and a lot of your other favorite shows. Now, according to the union, studios and streamers like Netflix and Disney Plus have refused to agree on a number of important issues, including a guaranteed number of weeks of employment for TV writers and protections against AI-based writing and Writers Guild of America covered work. Proposals over minimizing work with no pay has also failed to be agreed upon. Now, for me personally, I feel like this is a good idea. The writers should definitely strike. They should definitely be getting paid. They should definitely be honored and given complete respect for everything they do. Because of all the content that we consume on these streaming services and television studios, someone has to write this shit. The story is what's important. Everything that we watch, someone had to write it. So I think the writers are the backbone of all television and film. So yeah, they definitely should get their due. They should definitely get their props. However, I think it's time for a bit of a rise up also. TikTokers, podcasters, YouTubers, content creators, period. It's time to flood these streets. You've been sitting on a piece of a content, or you have this new idea that you want to put out. Now is the time. Get your pilots ready. Get those screenplays ready. If you do funny TikToks or YouTube content, get your 30-minute set ready if you're a comedian. It's time to get ready, y'all. Because while these writers are on strike, people need their content. People need their shows. They need something to entertain them. And that's where we step in. It's time to do it, y'all. Now's the time, because last time it went over 100 days. The way the world moves now, the speed it moves at, 100 days could be enough to see a complete renaissance for content creators. We got to get it, y'all. We got to get it. Ladies and gentlemen, blurs and nerds, freaks and geeks, this is Do You Speak Geek?
DYSG, keep it real, that's key. We the best OGs, dope topics, come see. DYSG, keep it real, that's key. We the best OGs, dope topics, come see. I got a question, do you speak geek? New episodes on the podcast dropping each week. Get hip to the game, I'm giving y'all a sneak peek. Flavor for your ears, bars flowing on unique beats. Blurs and nerds, freaks and geeks. The Source Wall Wednesday dropping comics you should cop, I think you'd ought to peep. Don't sleep on Dono and Nix, they preaching the gospel. Real ish, ill like mono, they sick. Thumb life if you're into games with combos and kicks. This podcast is a gift, it's as real as it gets. Blurs taking over, with clever marketing we gain exposure. Feeding the community magic, your boy's a nerd promoter. The dialogue is Jimmy Crackcorn, we aiming for gold. The truth was told, I can't speak for other platforms. Sharp as cats out like knives, claws, and tack thorns. We blacking out, going crazy like a black storm. DYSG, don't forget to follow back. Hosting on the airwaves, always keeping it a stack. Flowers to my haters, psych, I ain't giving y'all jack. Number one on the charts, give your boy a gold plaque.
Yeah, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Nix, back in the building again. This is episode 153. Shout out to my family, shout out to my followers, shout out to my friends, shout out to the listeners. I love all of y'all. Thank you so much for joining me once again for this episode. If you are new here, welcome to Do You Speak Geek? This is the podcast where we bring you all the latest and greatest inside of the geek realm. Shout out to Spreaker, that's the home team. But wherever you get your podcast, please be sure to hit that search, look for Do You Speak Geek, and subscribe, please. Coming soon, DYSGmedia.com. It's the central hub for everything under the umbrella of DYSG. Do You Speak Geek, the podcast, the CCW podcast, Color Commentary Wrestling, baby, the Love Blurs. So much more is coming. Music, articles, blogs, like you name it, we gonna have it there. And I can't wait to share it with y'all. But it's coming soon, so you gotta wait, all right? But until then, follow us on social media. Facebook at DYSGFB, Twitter at DYSG_tweets, Twitch at DYSG_games, and Instagram and TikTok at Do You Speak Geek. The YouTube channel, the only place you can find the Donald and Daddy show. I told y'all I was going to have a hot episode for y'all for that First Friday Fights. Star Killer and Cal Kestis. I told y'all it's going to be dope. But while you're there, subscribe, like, smash that bell for all notifications, and leave comments. We want to know what you guys think. All right, got a pretty healthy episode here. Not a whole lot to talk about, but a very well-rounded episode, I will say. So let's go ahead and get into it and do what we do about this time, people. Let's speak geek.
Suit up.
I wanna be the very best.
Talk nerdy to me.
Okay, we got reviews coming at you at Rapid Fire. Star Wars Visions Volume 2. Animation studios around the world unite to tell beautiful stories of family, resistance, and home. In Star Wars Visions Volume 2, this one was a phenomenal ad for May the 4th be with you. Check that one out. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Oh man, delivers the swan song in Volume 3, and it's a rockin' good time. Rocket's tragic origins, great action and effects, and James Gunn's soulful style send them out on an emotional high note. This one was okay. Moving on. Redfall. Damn, y'all. Baffling bad time across the board. Played with bland missions, dumb enemies, and repeated technical problems. Redfall Redfall fell flat. It just wasn't ready for daylight in its current state that it's in. I had high hopes for it, but nonetheless, it was an L either way. Either way, let's go ahead and hop into my favorite portion of the show. Y'all know the vibes. Source Wall.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
Behold the source wall.
Can you read, my son?
Well, that depends.
There is nothing wrong with reading a story and looking at the pictures.
Enough said, Stan. Let's hop right into it. The pull list this week, we have Green Lantern number 1. Spinning out of the events of the Dark Crisis, the Guardians of Oa, at the heart of the Green Lantern Corps, have quarantined Sector 2814, home of planet Earth, and its champion along with it. A heartbreaking defeat sent Hal reeling, returning home to discover his roots and find the man responsible for his ruining of his life, Sinestro. From the visionary team of Jeremy Adams and Zarmonico, who brought you the epic Flashpoint Beyond, comes a tale of redemption, loss, and finding out that maybe, just maybe, you can go home again. At least if you're willing to hotwire a Power Ring to do it. Also featuring part 1 of Jon Stewart War Journal from writer Philip Kennedy Johnson and artist Montos. All right, y'all, let's get it with this Green Lantern. Let's go. Rogue and Gambit number 3. As Manifold's trial goes cold, tensions between Rogue and Gambit heat up. For months now, they've been pulling apart. Rogue busy with her X-Men duties, Gambit risking eternal death in Otherworld. Now, when Gambit discovers Rogue's been keeping secrets, the couple must face their issues head on. Or they could split up and tackle the fight solo. That sounds smart, right? But who is gathering superpowered humans? And why is Manifold so important anyway? The mystery continues in Stephanie Phillips and Carlos Gomez's explosive romp through the Marvel U. Extreme Venomverse number 1. Ooh, why is it extreme? face front, Venomaniacs. To celebrate the 35th anniversary of the creation of Venom, the Summer of Symbiotes is underway, and it all starts with Extreme Venomverse, a landmark series that's going to take mighty Marveldom to corners of the hive never seen before in 3 titanic tales. First, comic superstars Ryan North and Paulo Sequeira put a fresh and exciting spin on a story you may be familiar with, starring Eddie Brock as Spider-Man. Then, your new favorite comic writer, Mirka Andolfo, shows you a side of the whole Brock family you never thought you'd see. And finally, one of the best writer-artists in comics today, Leonardo Romero, reimagines Venom as a samurai. But when all of your favorite symbiotes come together for the summer saga, there's something remains to be seen either way, and it's going to be a great time. Something epic number 1. Outside of perception, creative thought takes physical form, with only a handful of individuals known as epics able to interact with this wondrous hidden world. But for 14-year-old Danny Dillon, accepting these responsibilities himself won't be easy or safe. Lose yourself in a world of endless fantasy and creativity, where superheroes, monsters, magical creatures, and cartoon characters live and breathe alongside us. That sounds interesting. Who'd want to live in that world? Nah, I'm good. Silk, number 1. There's something rotten in Los Angeles, and ace detective Cindy Moon is on the case. Wait, that can't be right. In this mind-bending new series, Cindy will face old foes and never-before-seen dangers that will take her to the breaking point. Okay then. Now here's one I've been waiting for myself personally. Spirit World number 1. From the pages of Lazarus Planet, Dark Fate, a new Chinese hero emerges who's able to travel to and from the spirit world, the realm of the dead and that of the living. Their name is Xanthi, and their superpower is being able to burn items folded from joss paper and immediately turn them into real objects, based on the East Asian practice of burning joss paper in graveyards in order to send resources to ancestors in the spirit world. Except Xanthi can retrieve those items in the world of the living. Their weapon of choice is a large broadsword, because who doesn't love a big sword when you can choose a big sword, right? Xanthi is a master of the magical dark arts who's here to give Constantine a run for his money, literally. When Constantine shows up saying Xanthi scammed him into buying something, he finds them and Batgirl Cass Kang fighting an abnormally influx of Jiangshi, Chinese hopping vampires, and hopes to join in. But when a portal opens up that drags Batgirl into the spirit world, it's up to Xanthi and Constantine to travel to the land of spirits to rescue her. Who knows what other spirits we'll find in the spirit world? Like that skateboarding boy wearing hanfu with some headphones and a gaping hole in his chest. This is gonna be crazy. I can't wait for this one. This one's gonna be dope. Monarch number 4. Aliens are wreaking havoc in the city of Compton and the rest of the world, and only one young man stands in their way. As Trayvon finds a way to escape his extraterrestrial captors, Daisha, the love of his life, comes face to face with an even more dangerous threat from the unlikeliest of places. Will Trayvon make it back in time to save her? Or will these star-crossed lovers be ripped apart forever? Who knows? And finally, we have Street Fighter 6 number 1. American martial arts champion Ken Masters travels to the city of Nagashal for a new fighting tournament, but he finds much more danger than he bargained for. Oh, Ken. Y'all check these out and even more this Wednesday at your local comic book store. Now in Sourcewall news, here's something interesting about Jim Lee. Jim Lee, as we all know, has been a big name in the comic book world. He's been acting as publisher and creative chief officer in DC for the past few years here, back since 2018. But as of lately, guys, he has been named as president of DC Comics. Lee, who made a name for himself at DC's crosstown rival Marvel in the early 90s, was a founding member of Image Comics, a publisher founded by 7 former Marvel and DC writers in 1992. Lee has been working with DC since then, but has been a selling artist of the generation as an editor and executive. This announcement was made by Pam Lifford, president of Global Brands, Franchises, and Experiences at Warner Bros. Discovery, to whom Lee will continue to report. Lee will continue in his primary duties as publisher at DC Comics and also leads creative efforts to integrate DC's publishing portfolio of characters and stories across all media, supporting Warner Bros. Discovery families of brands and studios. I like this idea completely. If we're going to put somebody in charge of one of the biggest comic book publishing companies in the world, why not let it be one of our own? Somebody who has been writing, who has been sketching books for years. So yeah, I like this. Shout out to Jim Lee. This is a good move. Let's go. Let's watch this.
Watch this, y'all. Thunder! Thunder! Thunder!
Lannister always pays his debts.
Whoa, dude. I am the villain of the story.
All right, guys, and watch this news. Babylon 5 is getting an animated movie. So original series creator J. Michael Straczynski announced the news on his Twitter, sharing that this brand new original animated movie is already finished and is in the can. So it's 100% real, happening and coming out very soon. Babylon 5 animated movie coming from Warner Bros. Animation and WB Home Entertainment. Classic B5, raucous, heartfelt, nonstop, a ton of fun through time and space, and a love letter to the fans. Movie title, release date, and other details are coming soon, so keep a lookout for that. Yo, Babylon 5 animation? I can dig it. Let's go. Who was fans of the show? Come on now. Who's a fan of the show? What do you guys think about the animation movie? Are y'all feeling that? I know some of y'all don't like when y'all take properties and you cross mediums like live action versus animation or the other way around, but what do you guys think? Is it gonna be dope? I think it'll be dope. All right, that was the only thing I have to watch this, so let's hop over to Thumb Life.
Peace, love, and video games!
That sound like Donkey Kong!
That man is playing Galaga.
All right, you gamers, let's talk Marvel. So Marvel's Spider-Man, the remastered version, is now available to buy as a standalone game in the PlayStation Store. PS5 players who are new to the game can buy it outright, while those who already had the PS4 version of the game can upgrade it for just $10. So if you guys want to get that brand new Spider-Man face that we all so vocally hated on online, here's your chance. Oh man, speaking of Marvel, Midnight Suns, y'all, it's not gonna be hitting Nintendo Switch after all. 2K and Firaxis Games have officially confirmed that Midnight Suns won't be released on the Switch, despite the game's impending PS4 and Xbox One releases. We're excited to announce the digital version of Marvel Suns on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One are scheduled to launch on Thursday, May 11th. However, Nintendo Switch versions of Marvel is no longer planned. Obviously, that is bad news for Switch fans, but thankfully it's not a long wait for PS4 and Xbox One players, with Midnight Suns heading to digital platforms in just a week. That includes all 4 DLC installments as well. Damn. So not only are they not getting the game, but for PS4 and Xbox One players, they're getting the game and the 4 DLC installments as well. That's crazy. That's a kick in the ass right there. Sorry, Nintendo fans. But let's speak technical for a moment.
Technically speaking,
your technological advancements
1.21 gigawatts. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Okay, guys, so this is a good news. This is some pretty good news here. So Apple and Google are teaming up. Not in the way you're probably thinking, but it's for a good reason. So they announced that there's going to be a team up to combat those misuse Bluetooth tracking devices such as AirTags to stalk people. Both companies announced in a press release that they jointly submitted a newly proposed industry specification to combat these product safety risks, specifically implementing a new standard that requires these products to be compatible with unauthorized tracking, detection, and alerts across Android and iOS platforms. While AirTags already notifies Apple users when there's an unwanted AirTag nearby, the proposal would implement this across all tracking devices. Quote, these new standards will minimize opportunities for abuse of this technology and decrease the burden on survivors in detecting unwanted trackers. This is a quote from Erica Olson, National Network to End Domestic Violence's Senior Director of its Safety Net project. Quote, we are very grateful for these efforts and look forward to continue to work together to address unwanted tracking and misuse. I like this because you never know when someone's out there trying to, like, with just with everything. I mean, you got people getting kidnapped, you got trafficking. It's all crazy, and these tag things are just making it easier for these bad guys to do what they gotta do. So, Apple, Google, Form Voltron, whatever you gotta do, come together, make this work so we all can live a more safer life out here in these streets. I appreciate this so much. But while you guys are working on that, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Thank you all for listening. Please be sure to listen to this podcast, subscribe to this podcast, let your boy know what you think about this podcast. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok. DYSG media.com coming soon. Check out the YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe there. As always, people, live to play to win to live. I speak geek. Do you speak geek?